Irashaimase! Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday, we've got Ginga Force for the Xbox 360. So this shoot 'em up was developed and released by Q Corporation in Japan. It hasn't gotten an international release, but fortunately, like many other shoot 'em ups, Ginga Force is region free, so it's safe to import that way. So what kind of taste will this shoot 'em up go and have? Let's get cooking and find out.
Alright, here we are at the title screen of Ginga Force. We're going to go ahead and jump into the game itself. So even though this is an import, the menus are pretty much entirely in English with the exception of the parts shop menu. So if you're going and looking to import this one, you should have an easy time with it for the most part. And even if you do need help with the translation, like going and getting the translations for the items in the parts shop, which I'll show in just a sec here, there is a translation guide available online. So, you know, standard stuff like the Xbox Live Marketplace, which I'm not sure if there was anything even on the Japanese version. There isn't anything available on the US side. Achievements, options, which are entirely in English, so that definitely is helpful there. There's a gallery mode where you can go and look at, well, it just basically has descriptions going and providing some, like, backstory of the game itself, as well as character profiles, movies, that kind of thing. There's a score attack mode, which you get to go and play through the stages in story mode, but with using 3 default ship configurations rather than the options that you have available in story mode. We'll go ahead and load up our data. I've only got 23% cleared at this point, so still have a ways through the game to go. Let's have a quick look at the parts shop. So the parts shops, you can go and use credits that you accumulate through playing the stages and especially clearing the stages to go and buy weapons that are unlocked, once again, primarily through going and clearing the stages. You've got main weapons, and there's quite a bit of options here. A lot of these are powered up versions of previous weapons, but even still, that goes and gives you a fair bit of variety to what you can go and use. There's sub-weapons, and here there once again is a lot of variety available, so you can go and definitely tailor it to the stage or your play style. Special weapons, the same thing goes and applies, so that's definitely where a lot of the fun goes and comes into this title. There's different engine types, so you can go and kind of configure your speed options a little bit better. And extra items, which you can equip up to 3, and these ones go and have quite a bit of different usage. So if there's any point throughout the let's say item shop that you would need a little bit of help with translation, it's probably here with extra items. But you know, a lot of them are straightforward. Some of them go and reduce your power consumption. Some of them just make it so that you can go and take enemy shots better, or rather hits. Extra lives, that sort of thing, and colors, which are, well, I think that's pretty apparent. The ones I have unlocked are actually really appealing, but there's also something really classic about the base look as well, so we're going to go ahead and stick with that one. Then, of course, we've got the mission start. So, I still haven't cleared the game yet. It actually has 10 total stages, and then there's 2 training simulator stages, X and Y. The training simulator stages are similar to score attack stages, where you have 3 default ship configurations, and then you're just going and playing for, I don't know if there's actually an end, or if you just keep on going and playing just for score. I'm going to go ahead and show you stages 1 and 2, just so we can go and kind of get a feel for the game, but especially where you've got the 10 stages and the 3 difficulty levels, there actually is a decent bit of content here, since you can go and also configure your ship and try different kind of ship configurations. So once you go and select the stage that you're going into, you go and are taken to the equipment screen. Here you can go and select your loadout. So we've got our main weapon. These are the ones I have unlocked. We've got our ion gun, heavy ion gun, mini beam cannon, minigun, beam cannon, laser gun, heavy laser gun, the wave blaster, and Spread missiles. For the course of stage 1, what do we want to go and use? Let's go and use the Wave Blaster. For our sub-weapon, I've got to be honest, I love weapons that go in home, so I'm kind of tempted to go and take the homing missile, but let's go and take something a little bit different. Let's go with the crossgun. Actually, no, we'll use the crossgun on the next stage. Just for... Maybe we will go with the homing missile for this stage. Then special weapon, all I've got unlocked at this point are shield, counter shield, and the shell shield. Those are the shield in this one kind of acts like the shield from the original Gradius. It goes and puts like a shield directly in front of your ship, and the shell shield is all encompassing. So we'll go ahead and take that one. Engines, I've got 2 engines unlocked. One goes and has 3 variable speeds, and one just has, and the one that I prefer to use just has 1 fixed speed. Spare ships, you can go and actually give yourself a handicap on that one. Then you've got the extra slots of what you can go and do. Here's target marker, armor, and then one for power consumption, and then your color. Alright, so that being the case, does it actually go and change the name of the ship if I change the weapons around? No. So I guess the name of the ship is the FVG-27 Enforcer, call name Hound 1. And let's get cooking!
Ginga Force.
Ginga Force! Alright, so there's a little bit of story here at the very beginning. So just really going and filling in, we're basically a pilot named Alex. This is our first day on the job as an MMS. Yeah, did I say that right? MSS pilot, which is basically kind of like a mercenary police force on the planet that we're on. You know, nice and kind of sci-fi. So we skip past the story part, now we actually get a tutorial part. It'll give me a quick second to go and show. So we have a main weapon and a sub-weapon. Ah, here we go. Into the stage itself. The main weapon and the sub-weapon in the bottom right there go and have power gauges. The main weapon is always going into depleting, whether you're actually firing or not. And the sub-weapon, unfortunately, only goes and depletes when you're going and firing it. You can be firing both simultaneously for a rather heavy amount of firepower being dumped out at all times. And there's also a gauge for your special, which in this case is the shield. Which, you know, unfortunately you can't shoot while you're going and using your shield, but I guess that's a fair trade-off for the heavy amount of defense. I think I actually didn't pick a very good configuration for this stage, because that enemy got away rather than me being able to go and destroy him in the amount of time that the boss timer gave me. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and keep on moving on. So as you go and defeat enemies, they go and drop both credit chips and energy cubes. And the energy cubes are used to go and replenish your both your main shot and your sub-shot weapons. But especially since, as I was going and saying, the main weapon is always depleting, there's not really a whole lot of sense in not going and firing. So the game itself is presented with a widescreen aspect rather than the long Tate-style vertical screen presentation. So you want to have quite as much field of view going forward as some titles go and have, but at the end of the day, I don't feel it's like it's too much of a problem. We still are able to go and see and have an easy time for the most part of seeing what's going and coming our direction. So here we are fighting the stage boss, who's actually a criminal, a thief that we're going and chasing. One thing I definitely have to go and wonder about though is where are these criminals going and getting this kind of like hardware and equipment, but I guess you can kind of wonder this so much with so many like shoot 'em ups and their storylines. It's like, where are you going and getting this kind of equipment from? But especially where you're not going up against any kind of like army, and it's just supposedly what we would go and consider to be like private citizens. Like, yeah, where are you getting this stuff? Oh, it's just like my musings on the subject. Going and dodging traffic again. So the game itself has a very clean presentation. The mech designs are certainly nice. I really like the ship that you go and pilot as well. Some of the enemy mechs are more visually interesting than others, but it's definitely serviceable this way. So another random musing on the situation. Why are there turrets on top of the cars that we're going and flying past? That just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of thematic sense. Oh well. So at this point, we're just going and trying to capture and arrest this particular individual. Oh, if I could, I would. Just going and trying to go and destroy the boosters, but yeah, I don't think... Oh, sweet. Yes, I do have enough damage output to manage it. So now we're going and diving below the city. Just, we're finally to the main form of the boss fight. He's gone and put on some extra equipment. So one thing that I think is interesting when you're going and using the shield, there's actually a little bit of feedback that you go and get from the shots. It's like you're getting bounced around by the shots that you're going and absorbing. And there's something about that I find really satisfying. Oh, so something to go and note about the weapons. So since there are power gauges to the main and the sub weapons, if you go and happen to run out of energy in either, nice, we got him. If you happen to go and run out of energy in either, you still can go and fire the weapon. It's just at a much weaker state. So you're never a sitting duck, but it does go and have some issues. Alright, good clear on that one, but I guess it was probably due to time, but I only got a rank A on that one. That's okay, I'll take it. Okay, then when you go and finish a mission, it goes and brings you back to the start screen. Then you can go back in, select a mission again. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Chapter 2, where we're going and chasing after Tina here. No, not Teeny. Not Tina. Teeny. So, you know, she's small, I guess. For this stage, I'm going to go ahead and run with the heavy laser gun. And for the sub-weapon, I'm going to try the cross. There's a lot of enemies that do go and end up coming after you in this one, so I hopefully think that'll be a good configuration for this stage. Let's jump in and find out. Ginga Force! Once again, a little bit of story. She's like going and hacking from her ship, and now we're going and chasing after her. And she'll be kind of like it's just there with us trailing her the whole time. Okay, so as I went and noted, with this run, I'm going and taking the laser gun as well as the cross. So the cross goes and provides basically an X pattern of damage in front of me, well, around me, which is useful for going and hitting enemies, like basically around the entire ship. And then what's nice about the laser is it's rather pinpoint, but it goes and deals heavy damage in that one pinpoint. So in this section, as we're going and moving through and discussing the situation, I'm trying to go and defeat all these. The health bar at the top is actually these security bots that keep on going and coming after me. So as I go and destroy them, then it goes and reduces the HP in that bar slowly but surely. And I have to go and try and manage it in the time limit. I mean, the stage will go and move on otherwise. You just go and get like point bonuses, that sort of thing. So especially if you're going and score attacking, like the faster you can go and take out, the more bonuses you can go and get, the better off you are. Ooh. That was my bad. I got sloppy there. I'm not even 100% sure what hit me there. Okay, one more pass maybe? Yep. Yay, points! Going and moving on to the next section. So, especially on harder difficulties, this section can go and be quite frustrating. If we happen to get hit by any of those spotlights going and running through the background, then we get this. These enemies that go and surround us, going and firing these, those weird wall lasers at us. So it definitely goes and, not necessarily saves time, but it definitely goes and makes it easier on us if we go and avoid... Nope. If we avoid the spotlights. So, I've got to go and say, the planet that we're on actually goes and has kind of a really interesting name on it. It's 7 tier. So I'm not quite sure what they were going and thinking with the name, but it definitely is kind of interesting. So we're to the next section of this stage. Let's see if I can go and get through this pretty quickly. And they're going and chiding like Teeny there on her, you know, hacking, going and saying that this isn't a game, but oh well. It's another nice little visual hint. When you're bumping up against the wall, even though it's not there, it goes and throws up green barrier so you know that you're at the boundaries of your movement. I kind of feel it's a little unnecessary, but, you know, nice little touch all the same. So, doesn't look like we're making very fast progress on this, but we'll keep trying all the same. So, it looks like when I'm detected by these particular spotlights, it's going and bringing in enemy fighters. On higher difficulties, it actually goes and sends like a very painfully annoying to dodge barrage of missiles at you. And oh, wow! I'm not quite sure what I missed there, but I definitely timed out on that timer. So, oh well. That said, here we are against like the boss. Come on, Teeny, bring it. Whew. That was my bad. Twice. I gotta watch out for those big lasers of hers. I do happen to go and like this boss fight. I think she's got a lot of really interesting patterns. I love those little starbursts that those spinning bar shots go and blow up into. Well, if you don't want to go and get caught, you shouldn't go and be a criminal. Come on. This one is going like nice and smooth. But this like pattern here is one that I thought was like really pretty. And oh, I thought I had her, but nope, I got blown up instead. There we go. And that's the end of stage 2. Boss fight actually went really well. I have to give all the credit to the heavy laser on that one.
大体あんたみたいなのが一体何をしようとしてたの？
We went like, capture the criminal. How did we do? Rank B! Oh man, that's just bad. Alright, there we go and have it. The first 2 stages of Ginga Force. So, as I went and mentioned at like the start and when I was going over the menus, I definitely go and feel that this one is a relatively easy title to go and import because the menus are in English and the only part that you might have any difficulty with is the part shop, but there is translation help available online for this one. So, that being the case, if you're interested in Ginga Force, it's definitely one that can go and be obtained relatively inexpensively. So, definitely a really great import that way. And if you can also go and find it, there's a combo pack with this one and it's the S Chatos, Cute's other Xbox 360 shoot 'em up that they've gone and released. So, yeah, as far as this one's concerned, definitely highly recommended from the chef. It definitely receives 2 thumbs up, and as far as imports are concerned, like, feel free to go and import this without any worries. Alright, that'll go and about wrap it up for this episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. I'll just go ahead and jump into the 3rd stage while I go and finish my wrap up. As always, if you have any shoot 'em ups that you would like me to go and play, or any other games that you'd be interested in me having go and look at, please leave those in the comments below. Thanks so much for coming out to go and enjoy me for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and I hope to go and see you again next week.